The Joan Rivers Award. Remember, Joan Rivers always said, "Can we talk?" And then she would gossip. Here are lawyers who apparently were very big fans. This is Silence of the Lamb, and it's just a creepy Maine case, and they're all creepy Maine cases. I don't know if you've ever been to Maine, but there's nothing but creepy Maine stuff, all right? You will never hear a Maine story and hear, oh, that's like what happened here. No, it's a whole nother universe. Hopefully, we're not recording this for Maine, are we? No, take them off the list. Here's what I mean by this. This lawyer is representing a client in a real estate transaction. And the negotiation gets very, very contentious. And the client stands up, looks at the table to the other party and says, "I should put a bullet in your head." And the lawyer thinks, "I should get a new client." And he does. He withdraws from representation. About 2 months later, he wakes up in the morning, he's got his paper, and he looks in it, and there's his client on the front page, accused of killing 2 people. Not in this case, and a whole unrelated thing. And he starts realizing, thinking about it, and he says, I knew this guy, I represented him for years, and I'm pretty sure he was a serial killer. I think he killed a lot of people. Every time I pick up the newspaper, it seemed like it was somebody who was tangentially involved with him. I'm sure. He calls the police and says, "My ex-client was a serial killer." They're like, "It's Maine. Everybody's a serial killer. You got to do better than that." He says, okay. He then decides, well, you know what? He's represented that guy for years. He knows where his assets are, et cetera. He begins looking through all of his little sheds out in the woods, et cetera, and he's finding all kind of stuff. He takes it to the police, and sure enough, they convict him for 2 additional murders. Now, you know no good deed is going to go unpunished, because in doing that, he's violated a few ethics rules. Your obligation for Rule 1.6 for confidentiality does not end at the end of the representation. You still have the obligation under 1.9 to former clients as well. Now, he got in Maine an admonition. And an admonition basically says, don't ever do this again unless you feel like it. I mean, we do want him turning in the next Jeffrey Dahmer, right? But still, it's a violation of the rules. 0 Dark 30. Here's a JAG lawyer stationed in Gitmo. He gets a request one day from a human rights organization. They want the names and serial numbers of all of the Gitmo detainees. He takes it to his boss. His boss says, "We don't do that. What's wrong with you? We don't even have detainees. Who told you we do?" He said, "Boss, well, here's the problem, though, is that there's a Supreme Court case decided this last month that says these people are entitled to due process. They should get a habeas corpus proceeding, and his officers, his bosses, oh, Supreme Court smart. All right? That's a foreign country. All right? We're in Cuba. That didn't apply to us. Cuban Supreme Court said, keep them here." The lawyer feels conflicted. On the one hand, he's got a direct order, all right, from his superior officer saying, do not disclose information. On the other hand, there's a Supreme Court case that seems to say that they have a constitutional right. And here's the thing is, he has an oath, he's taking an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. So he says, oh, well, I think I'm gonna violate this rule. Now, you cannot just send out, a list of Gitmo detainees, and that's getting out through security. All right, they look at stuff. So he gets this great idea. He says, here's what I'll do. He decides the woman who sent him this request, he sends her a Valentine's Day card. He dresses up very nicely, puts all kind of glitter and sparkles and stuff on it. And also, inside, to make it very festive, in the envelope, is a lot of confetti. And on this confetti are very, very tinily printed names, dates, and serial numbers of the detainees. She gets a list and thinks, ooh, somebody like me. Ooh, somebody loves me. And nobody loves her. And so she eventually looks and realizes, wait a minute, nobody likes me at all, but I have this information. And she says, look, I ain't going to jail for this. I saw the Bradley Manning trial. All right, she turns it over to the FBI, to the federal judge. This guy is convicted. Interesting enough, he only gets 6 months for the violation. However, he gets out and decides he wants to go practice in Kansas. And they said, no, not now, forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever. No. If you got that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Sex, lies, and videotape. Florida public defender is representing a criminal defendant. He comes to jail in the jumpsuit. You know, you don't want your client to look like a criminal, so he should arrange with the family to bring some clothes so he can look like an upstanding citizen. They go into the ante room. He's not shy. He's been in jail. He just strips down, and she happens to notice that he is wearing a pair of leopard print underwear. She finds this amusing and decides that she would do what any of you would do. She surreptitiously takes a picture of it with her phone. And then she does what any good, respecting person would do in the 21st century. She posts it on Facebook. What? That's exactly what she said when she got fired and the bar was called. What? I know what you did last summer. In-house counsel of a company begins to notice that he thinks that his CEO is involved in some fraudulent behavior with the company. What he's noticing is that there were these hugely expensive vendors. And when he does a public record search for, ABC Shipping Company, he finds out that every one of these companies, the principal owners have the same last name as the CEO. He goes, wait a minute, this is how he's ripping the company off. So I've got to figure out how to do this. And, there's a whole provision in here about what to do in a situation where you have to report an organizational client. I think it's 1.12. So he does exactly what any of you do. He goes to the CEO and says, I want in. I want $750,000 and a new title. I want to be made legal emperor. He said, I want to be made general counsel. The CEO says, you know what? I'm a thief, but I got principles. I'm not giving away just some title. You don't get a new title. I'm calling the police. He calls the police. This guy is arrested and tried and convicted for extortion. Now, the funny part is, so was the CEO, but he was committed to principle. He was willing to share some of the money, but he's not going to give just unearned titles. He got principles. The winner here is Sex Lies and Videotape.